What's up, everybody? My name is Brian. Today we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of politics and what's going on with the economy. By me posting these videos out there, I want to give you an information and I want to give you an informative opinion about how I feel about what's going on with the president and the president-elect. So bear with me as I explain this. Today, we hear a lot of talk about what's going on in the world of the politics by hearing the Democratic governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich, being arrested and charged with corruption. He's been freed on his own recognizances. You hear cries from the Democratic Party and also the presidential-elect Barack Obama telling you to step down, and he just basically brushes that stuff off. He's the guy that's trying to sell off the former senator's seat. Barack Obama had resigned from the Senate back in November, and Blagojevich, or Hot Rod, or Blago, he wants to try to sell Barack Obama's seat for some sum. Jesse Jackson Jr., representative from Illinois, has been mentioned in this story, and he's denying that he's involved in this scandal. And of course, Barack Obama and Joe Biden denied they ever were a part of this scandal also. And it comes to this conclusion that, and even in Chicago and all across the world, you just can't trust either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. Although Barack Obama has nothing to do with this, as Patrick Fitzgerald completely stated multiple times, the right wing is always trying to tie Barack Obama to everyone in Chicago and everything in politics. And unfortunately, this is going to end up backfiring. Once he gets in, he's going to try to eventually get back at him by imposing the fairness doctrine. Boo! It gets more play on Fox News because it's a Democratic governor. And on CNN and MSNBC, they're going to try their best to continue to say, well, why are you worried about the Democratic governor when you got a president who's allowed us to go into war with two countries? We are in massive debt. We also have high unemployment. We also have a car bailout that's not going to go through the Senate because the Republicans refuse to bail out the car dealerships. They refuse to bail out the small businesses. They refuse to bail out the big three automakers. They refuse to do it. The Republican Party doesn't want to be tied to all the pork that's coming in with this bill. They want to try to establish a fair bill or allow them to go bankrupt and restructure. Richard Shelby, the Alabama senator, is the strongest advocate against this bill. And unfortunately, with Harry Reid having a slim majority right now until January, he's going to have to take a pass until January 2009. Hopefully Chrysler and GM can survive it. But in the meantime, they're not going to survive without having a bailout. Even though we're going to be paying our tax dollars to bail out the big three automakers and as well as the banking industry, we're going to be blaming the Democratic Party for the failure, and we're going to blame President Bush for allowing it to happen. And then we're going to try to blame the Republicans for not giving the options of letting the big corporations bail out the people who are losing their jobs. We're going to blame Barack Obama because he's probably going to raise taxes against those who are making over $250,000 or under $250,000. I mean, there's so much chatter from both sides of the political spectrum. You wonder why most people like me are going to start eventually becoming an independent voter. Anyway, you realize that the governor had done wrong. Barack Obama's calling for him to resign. The Democratic Party's calling for him to resign. Blagojevich, he's just practically ignored him. So Illinois State Senate and Illinois House will probably try to impeach and remove him. But he still has the power to nominate who he feels is necessary to fill the seat Barack Obama left. So much to talk about. Down there in Louisiana, Congressman William Jefferson, who's already been indicted, but he has not been convicted. He's the guy who had put $90,000 in the freezer. He's been taking kickbacks from a Nigerian man who had ran a company out of Louisville, Kentucky. Unfortunately, he thought he could win on the support of the black voters in New Orleans. It failed. This Republican, who's a Vietnamese-American by the name of Anh Chow, he won overwhelmingly in a runoff election, and he will become the first Vietnamese-American to ever be in the Republican Party. And that's going to be a sign that Louisiana is going to continue to have a red streak. Mary Landrieu, the senator from Louisiana, who's a Democrat, she narrowly won her election. Louisiana has been tilting to the Republican Party for some time now, by electing former Congressman, now Governor Bobby Jindal, who's now going to be the rising star in 2012. Governor Sarah Palin of Alaska, who still generates a lot of buzz in the Republican circles, and of course people like Joe the Plumber and Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh. Unfortunately, I cannot say much about Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. They're not going to really do much. All you're going to hear is a lot of the concerns about America having problems, and the right is going to continue to dismiss it as phony outrage. So, you know, basically President Bush, who has record approval ratings at the lowest, he's going to wipe out a lot of these pardons by allowing people to talk about Barack Obama's issues. He's going to end up trying to pardon people that's been convicted of high crimes and misdemeanors. But yet we're going to be talking about the Illinois governor. You always remember that we're talking about the current administration. Barack Obama will be in January 2009, so we got to focus on what's going on right now in the Bush administration. Bush is trying to appoint a car czar. He's going to nationalize the automobile industry. And that's going to really upset the Republicans and the business bigwigs and the people who do not want taxes on their bills. But who am I? Another thing, Colin Powell, the former Secretary of State and former general, he said it best that the Republican Party is out of touch with the minorities. The Hispanic vote went to Obama, the African American vote went to Obama, the Asian American vote went to Obama, the Native American vote went to Obama, the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender vote went to Obama, and the disabled vote went to Obama. You got to realize, Republicans, you need to stop the divisive strategy. You need to cut ties with the religious right. You need to stop listening to Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, Matt Drudge, Michael Savage, Glenn Beck, Michelle Malkin, Ann Coulter, Laura Ingraham, and the rest of the dumb right. The problem with the Republican Party is that they're out of touch with the common goals of America. If you want happiness and you want solitude, you're going to have to side with the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party may help them, has been more open to the minorities. They've been open to those who are not well, I can say not religious. And I can also say that they're more open to those who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender. And as I stated in the previous video, with the gay marriage issue back on the table, the Republicans do not want to jeopardize losing any more seats, because overwhelmingly those who are straight like myself are in favor of gay marriage. I mean, we're going to have to take a good look at ourselves in the mirror and say, are we happy, or are we going to make someone else's life a lot better? As I tell you again, this is America. You have a right to complain about the president. You have a right to complain about the incoming president. But in the meantime, we want to talk about the facts. The Illinois governor is indicted. Congressman Jesse Jackson's involved. Barack Obama has nothing to do with what's going on with the Illinois governor. William Jefferson lost to a Republican who's a Vietnamese-American. And President Bush is going to try to bail out the automobile industry and appoint a car czar. Congress's approval ratings are at record lows. The Republicans will not sign the bill to bail out the automakers. And when Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi collect their majority, maybe they may eventually try to get something on the ground running, because the Republicans are desperate for attention, and they'll whine and scream and they'll jump and be more partisan than they are when Barack Obama gets in. Anyway, thank you for visiting me on YouTube. Catch you on the next one.